Hey, this is Matt once again. We're about the end of the video. There's another paid request, this time for Brian. Thank you so much for that. And for those interested in requesting pretty much any type of videos or topics, randomness, whatever it may be, feel free to send either directly to my PayPal or join my Patreon. Both links are down below in the info box underneath the video. Now this is for Harold and Kumar 3, technically called A Very Harold and Kumar Christmas. Came out in 2011, and I really enjoy this movie, but I'm a fan of all of the Harold and Kumar films. The first one came out around 2004, directed by the guy who did Dude, Where's My Car? Sadly, that director has passed away since. But the first Harold and Kumar, I would say, is one of my favorite comedies, because I love the concept. It's simple, it's relatable. You're with your buddy, you don't go to this place you haven't eaten for a while. Sometimes the simplest things, the most relatable things can engage you. And it's silly, it was goofy, it was irreverent, but it was just a lot of fun. Had a good heart to it. And it had social commentary without beating a dead horse, without beating your head in. And just generally funny. And John Cho, Kal Penn, they had wonderful chemistry. And the sequel, while not as good, I do think the second one, Guantanamo Bay, is the weakest of the three. I still enjoy it. Immensely so because of the Kal Penn and John Cho chemistry with each other. I think they work very well. I've really grown to like John Cho as an actor. Kal Penn does a good job as well, but John Cho, I think especially because after seeing Searching, he's really impressed me as an actor. I know he's in the new Cowboy Bebop. A lot of people hated. Me, though, I haven't seen it, but I've never seen the anime. So it may be one of those that if I saw it, I might like it because I don't know shit about the anime. And I'm a big John Cho fan, so maybe. Who knows? But this one I thought was a step up from the second film. I thought it had a bit more heart. It was still goofy and silly and irreverent, but I thought it had a story that was told well for what it needed to be. It's a fun Christmas film with two very solid leads, and their chemistry still works extremely well together. It's a couple years after Guantanamo Bay, the second film, and by this point, things were going okay, but then in the last 2 years, Harold and Kumar went their separate ways. Harold is married, and his wife's in-laws, including Danny Trejo, don't come in for Christmas. And he's like, I got this tree, a machete, and machete don't text. Well, he doesn't say that, but I'm just paraphrasing. But Danny Trejo is actually not too bad in this. So he has his tree thing. John Cho wants to make things well for his wife's in-laws. He's going to decorate the tree. Meanwhile, Kumar, his lady left him. He finds out his lady's pregnant. He doesn't really know what he's doing with his life. One day he gets a present. Doesn't know what it is, but it's meant for Harold. So he goes over there and they finally meet after 2 years. And before I get to that, I should mention this film was 3D when it came out. Now, obviously, I don't have the 3D version. I don't know. I mean, I'm guessing they made a 3D Blu-ray of this. I would assume. So, but the 3D was still fun to watch as a gimmick. I just kind of liked if you watch it Friday the 13th Part 3 or something of that nature. But they do make fun of the idea. Bobby Lee, who I'm a fan of, he has this YouTube channel, Tiger Belly. He has this other one called Bad Friends with him and his buddy Andrew Santino, where they've been friends for a long time. And pretty much each podcast, they shit on each other. That's a really good podcast. That's become one of my favorite podcasts to listen to recently, called Bad Friends. But Bobby Lee was on Mad TV for a while. He was in the first Harold Kumar. He has a little role. I wish his role was bigger. I wish he was in throughout the film. And I think, honestly, I would have preferred him. Well, I mean, I like Thomas Lennon, But like the other, well, I think he could have been still working for John Cho like in this film, but then when he goes home, he is friends with Kal Penn as well. Like maybe they met and they hung out, whatever. Instead of the other guy they had, just Kal Penn goes with this other guy, and this other guy wants to get laid with this girl. And that guy I didn't really care for. I kind of wish if there was a way to rework the writing and Bobby Lee was put in that, I think that would have been better. Because I just think Bobby Lee's a much more entertaining guy. And the little bit he has is fun. They talk about the whole 3D thing. Hasn't a whole 3D thing jumped the shark now? Because this is a time where 3D was really big. Yeah, My Bloody Valentine 3D. All these films were being released. Dread 3D. Even films that were not made for 3D, there was still a 3D version. That died away, which I'm glad. Every once, like, this is a film though that I kind of do wish I saw in the theater in 3D, because it seemed like it would use the 3D well. Like Dread 3D used it well. This seemed like, people at these actually shooting off the screen. And I do, in retrospect, wish I had seen this in theaters in 3D. I do like Bobby Lee's line, "Oh, this TV will make Avatar look Avatarded." I'm like, Avatar already is Avatarded. You don't need a TV, but I did like that line. But yeah, I like Bobby Lee. I like his personality. I wish he was in the film more. And so Thomas Lennon, who I like from Reno 911, that's another show I do enjoy. They did a new season. I didn't get a chance to check that out. Maybe one day I will. I don't think it lasts long because no one ever talked about it, which is sad. I'm to blame because I didn't see it. I didn't even know it was out. So that was not marketed well because I'm like, is that coming out? Wait, it did come out? Okay. But Reno 911 was a comedy version of Cops for the Reno Police Department. And in the last season or two, because they killed off a bunch of characters, this new cast, I just, didn't care for that. But it's like, but then they didn't die off. It's a very irreverent show. And the first couple of seasons of Reno 911 I thought were rather hilarious. And Thomas Lennon was good in that. So it was cool to see him in this. I liked him as John Cho's buddy. He had this baby along with him. Other people, Maria, John Cho's wife, she's hot. Early on, she takes almost all of her clothes off. Bikini, like a bra and panties. I need a drink for that because, my brain is too fried thinking of that. It's short-circuited thinking of Maria. She's really a hot tamale. She's hot as hell. But she goes off with Danny Trejo and them for the holidays while he's supposed to deal with the tree. Not all the jokes work in the film. There's a bit where Danny Trejo's telling this backstory about him and Christmas, and as a kid he had a mustache and these Korean punks killed his mom, and I do like the idea that each of the Korean punk they cast John Cho, as if this is John Cho thinking about this and being even more freaked out. But like some of the other jokes in that flashback, one of the weaker jokes. But one thing leads to another. Kumar and Harold get together, find out that the president's weed. He smokes it. Harold's like, I want nothing to do with that anymore. Throw it out. And this is definitely a movie like the second film, where there's a lot more fantasy involved. There was a bit in the first film because they rode on a fucking cheetah. It wasn't realistic, but the second and third film got a little bit more fantastic. Some people may be annoyed with that. I was fine. Plus, I fed her with the Christmas spirit. It's trying to be in that feel. With a lot of those movies, you could say, had a bit of fantastical nature to it. Scrooge, of course, among others. the tree just accidentally burnt down, and they are, they're separated. They're separated, then they're together to go find a tree. And it leads to, all these situations like the other films, these kind of hopefully funny situations. Like the RZA and this one guy who sell trees, and they take turns trying to be the angry black guy. Like they do it for John Cho. No, for Kal Penn. Kal Penn gets the tree. But then when John Cho comes in, they've switched up. And the bigger guy tries to do it, but then his grill falls off and he fucks it up. And like I said, when John Cho and Harold, when they're together, they work so well together. That's why I would even be up for part 4. And I'm a guy that's very leery on making sequels, but I enjoy the first 3, and as long as you don't do like Bill and Ted 3, Ghostbusters Afterlife, I don't know, maybe I would take that back, to be leery on sequels. So, but that's more my cynical age coming into play. But like Thomas Lennon, the type of character he plays, why in the H did you F wads? And how like both of them are jealous by their other friend they have. Oh, is this your friend? Yeah. He's young, huh? Pretty young, is he? I like the two sizing up their friends. So they still miss each other being friends, but so they're sizing up, making fun of the other friend that's with them. Kal Penn accidentally gets the baby high, and Tom is like, oh great, she's got the giggles, great, she got the munchies. Like Thomas Lennon plays off rather well. And like the stuff after where they get to the party, they gotta play beer pong against these young fucks. They do a cool maneuver to win. Then the party gets interrupted because the girl that wants to have sex with the one guy is the daughter of this mob boss, as Elias Koteas, Casey Jones from the 1999 Ninja Turtles film. Which he's not in a lot, but it's like, oh, it's cool to see him in there. And like, there's a lot of style. There's a decent bit of budget here. I'd like the creativity involved. I think that's one of the reasons I like the film. I would put it a little bit above the second film. I see a bit more creativity. Okay, we have the Christmas spirit. Okay, we're doing an action scene. Let's do it in slow motion. Oh, they were fed this weird shit. So they turn and now they're in a claymation bit. Like a Rankin and Bass Christmas special. And so you have a whole section done entirely in claymation. What the hell, we're clay? And they're attacked by a giant snowman. And like they see what they think is a little chipmunk, but then in reality they realize it's a little kid. We realize it's a little kid, and a little kid's just watching them as they're going, oh, what a little cutie. But in their eyes is a claymation chipmunk type of thing. Or like when, the plan to maybe get this tree from a church. And so Kal Penn goes through this plan where it's all in freeze frame photography. Like a freeze frame that in his plan he punched out the Pope type of character. And then like how they get the tree. A nun shower room. You get titties. So you get your titties in there. Nun titties. And John Cho goes, I don't think nuns shower with each other. You sure? How come they're so clean? Like, this has a irreverent, crazy comedy, but the two leads work rather well together. It just throwing out these fun, stylistic choices, whether it be an action slow-mo or claymation or freeze-frame photography. I just see that this isn't like just a lazy cash grab sequel. At least I don't think. I see they wanted to make it a bit special. Like they find Neil Patrick Harris, who was in the previous films, and they do this big Christmas show. And by this point, he had come out as gay. So they put that into the movie, where he has his gay self, but in real life, I put him with this gay stuff for the P-Tane. And it definitely has some crazy stuff in the movie. There's a Waffle bot, which looks cool. There's a cool design. I would like a waffle bot. I like waffles. So I can understand Kal Penn Kumar's fascination of this. It's a cool design. It's done practically. It's like a little robot. Seems like something that would be an 80s movie, like Space Camp, that's a review coming up sometime this month. Just someone requested that. They had a little robot Jinx. Like back in the day when you had these little robots in it just for, at that time, because Star Wars was out and stuff. But here, just for the shits and giggles. They serve pancakes in hell. There are gross out gags, but here I thought it was done a bit more witty. Like there's a penis gag, but it's done, I thought, a bit funnier because this is spoiler. For those who haven't seen it, spoilers from now on. I think it's a very funny film that is crazy, it's zany, it's fantastical, but there's a good heart of these two friends owning up to where their lives are at and becoming together as friends. Hell, I wish the new Ghostbusters had that fucking thing. It's funny, in a way, this plot is kind of the plot I wish Ghostbusters Afterlife was, now that I think about it. Friends separate, but they get together, and they realize how much they miss each other, and they care for each other, and a little joyful, sweet ending in a weird way. So I guess, if there's never another Harold Kumar, this is the right way to end it. This is a nice, sweet ending, which also works as a Christmas story. And speaking of that, going back to what I was saying, spoilers, they're caught by the bad guys working for Elias Koteas, but the Waffle bot burns the shit out of them, rescues them, but then his power goes down. They finally get out of it, but then John Cho actually gets his dick frozen to the... And Kal Penn's, oh, it's like that ton scene in Christmas Story. Oh, is it? And John Cho's like, oh, is it? Is it like they say in the Christmas Story? And like John Cho, I think he can do drama well and Searching, and he can do comedy well. Because, yes, you have Santa Claus in the movie. And the way later on John Cho is telling us to Danny Trejo, Santa Claus is real, and I shot him in the face. Okay? Why? Like... To say that weird line and say it in such a deadpan manner makes the scene funnier to me. And I said the things work out well. It's a joyful, sweet ending. Danny Trejo accepts him. The family. Kal Penn and them are... Kal Penn's with his girl again. They got the waffle bot. And it ends simply with the two of them outside sharing a joint. Sweet, happy holidays. Merry Christmas. It's a nice bit of heart. It's not schmaltzy. It's not sappy. But it's a nice enough bit of a heart that I thought was missing a bit in part 2. I like part 2. I can enjoy all three of them. It tried to have the heart with Kal Penn falling in love with the girl, but this one I thought, like I said, the way they reconnected... Sadly, I got more heart out of that film than... I think you mentioned Ghostbusters Afterlife, and I'm looking at Ghostbusters 1 and 2 Blu-ray because I just saw that film recently. This was a nice palate cleanser after that movie. I'll say that. I enjoy the film. I think it's fun. I think it's entertaining. I would say my only criticism is too short. I wish this was longer, which usually that's not the case. It's only an hour and 20 minutes, and then the end credits start. I'm like, damn, that's it? Yes, if it's longer, it might... There's a worry of that, of they put shit in that's just not funny, and it just clutters things up. I get that. But I guess that's also to commend the movie, that I'm enjoying the movie so much, I don't want it to end so soon. And I like these characters. In a way, I miss these characters. But again, the more I think about it, if they do another film today, they would probably... I could just imagine the politics that would... Oh, would they? They doing so many other fucking movies. And even if they don't, Bill and Ted 3, Face the Music, a lot of people like that film. I did. I thought it was lame as hell. Same with Ghostbusters Afterlife. So maybe this is the right way to end it. If they prove me wrong, great. I want to be proven wrong. But, you know, there's no talks of it. Maybe, what, grumpy old stoners? But, I really did enjoy the film. I enjoy the chemistry between these two leads. I've said that like 10 times now. That's the number one adamant thing that I take from this. But yeah, I love the crazy creativity. Which there's still some of that in part 2. But especially part 1 and this one, like the Waffle bot and the even the stuff with the beer pong and the mob boss and Neil Patrick Harris. Like it's entertaining when you watch it the first time. You go, where is this going? What's going to happen next? And when I first saw it, that was the appeal. Like, where is this going? I mean, I wouldn't say it's predictable. It's like, what weird shortcuts, alleyways is this story going to take us to? So, but yeah, in a weird way, I do miss those characters. And I can't believe it's been 10 years. Oh my god. I just fucking realized it's been 10 years since that movie. In fact, they came out around November, December. It's the 10th anniversary of this film. It's been 10 years since the last Harold Kumar movie. Jesus Christ, I feel old now. I feel really old. It's been 10 years? Are you shitting me? I'm not shitting you. Oh my god. Time fucking flies, don't it? But with that said, it'd be cool to see John Cho, Kal Penn, John Cho come back, even if it's not a Harold Kumar movie, if it's like a different type of film. Doesn't just have to be a Harold Kumar movie. I mean, they work well chemistry. It'd be nice to see them in other different kinds of projects together. Just like Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder, they did See No Evil, Hear No Evil. They did Stir Crazy. I think that could work. But, that did happen. But, yeah, with that said, very fun movie. Movie I was still entertained by. And, still got quite a decent amount of laughs out of. So with that said, thanks for watching. Take care. We'll see you guys later. Bye-bye.